Yeah. There was one I had like spells of Duvanku. That was the death cult that was behind the location in Death Frost Doom. It's like I had no place to put all this other stuff, so I was like, okay, just mash the spells together, and that's an article. Okay. So
No, I just oh, go
so I
on.
wanted to participate because there was this thing happening, and it was before it was well, Death Frost Doom was after I was in official business, but like Fantasy fucking Vietnam and the first printing of the random esoteric creature generator for classic role playing games and their modern simulacra, like those were before I was an actual publisher. Those were like fan publications at first. So I was wanting to participate in this thing because I was around the message boards when the OSR was being formulated, when people were putting together Osric and Basic Fantasy. I wasn't involved. I was just an observer, but I was an observer then. I was there when it was happening. And then I think I was part of the second wave of publishers. Well, back then, nothing had been formulated. I mean, there were still arguments about whether doing any of this OSR stuff was even legal, if Wizards of the Coast was going to sue us all into oblivion.
Yep.
Uh, it was kind of like a real underground kind of renegade thing. We hadn't become part of the wallpaper yet. It's hilarious how quickly things started to divide. Because, of course, like Dragon's Foot and the Knights and Knaves Alehouse message board, they were concerned with like the OSR and retro clones were for those people a way of preserving what D&D used to be. Whereas, and this is a rough generalization, but then those of us that were paying attention to the blogs and starting our own blogs and not being on these message boards were like using the old D&D base as a springboard to start doing our own stuff, and that created a divide almost immediate. I think they're
Yeah.
both important. I think especially then because the old D&D rules were not in print. You could not buy them legally electronically.
Yeah.
They were buried. I mean, you could pirate the old stuff, but nobody was promoting it. Nobody had an interest in doing so. So the people that were making the close retro clones and wanting to say old D&D is good, and now there was a vehicle for which to promote that. So
Yeah.
especially at that time, that was necessary. That was very good that people were doing that, but other people were already doing that. So, well, the problem isn't the
Yeah.
rules. The problem wasn't the limitations of the rules, because like
Yeah.
Lamentations today is still 99% those same rules. The idea was, would this release have fit in with the TSR slate of releases from the late 70s, early 80s? That mentality more than anything else.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't understand that I was moving away from the orthodox OSR. I was just like, okay, here's like Death Frost Doom was just here's Evil Dead 2 and Night of the Living Dead applied to D&D. And apparently, that a lot of people had never considered that before or never encountered anything like that before. The idea that the point of this adventure is you're going to unleash a zombie apocalypse on your campaign. Not that you're trying to stop a zombie apocalypse, but the point of the adventure is pretty much this is happening in your campaign now.
Yeah.
that seemed to be a new idea. I don't know. There's something about it that people responded to, and then it's suddenly like, oh God, I guess I got to do more of this shit.
When it comes to Death Frost Tomb, here's one of your statements. The first group suffered no casualties, but ran like hell. The second group suffered no casualties, but cut a deal most unwholesome in order to survive. And the third group lost 4 out of 8 characters before running like hell. I do consider those results a successful playtest and true to the literature and cinema that inspired it.
Yeah.
That has to do with Death Frost Doom.
Well, one of the favorite reviews I saw, in the period after it was first released, is that someone complained because the characters went up the mountain, explored the cabin, found the trapdoor that goes down into the dungeon, and decided, nope, we got no reason to go down there. We're going home. And the reviewer, I guess, if the person bought it and then the players didn't want to play it, I guess they've got reason for complaint. But they were like, there's no reason for the characters to go down there. And I'm thinking, well, there's really not a lot of reason. The reasons given to go do other adventures are usually perfunctory anyway. I was just thrilled that real life people were scared to bring their pretend people into the pretend place, which is because it would be too dangerous. That's the game. It's like my setup made people afraid for their fake people. They were afraid to play the game, and I was just, yes.
I love the way you put that. I love the way you put that.